And on that point of having 3 accounts, you call it a future account, an emergency account, and a dream account. How much of your earnings should you be putting into each of those accounts on a monthly basis?
All right, so keep it super simple. I recommend 1 hour a day. Again, I said this earlier, it's 12.5% of your gross income.
When you say 1 hour a day, you mean 1 hour of the time you work per day?
Yeah, so whatever you make an hour,
Yeah.
if you're working a 40-hour work week, 12.5% of your gross income goes off the top into a retirement account. Now, let me just say something up for the yeah-butters. They're like, I can't go from 0 to 12%. There's no way. Then start at 1%. If you're not saving right now and you're listening to us and all you do when you leave this podcast is make one decision, and that decision is I'm going to save 1% of my income, and you start that this month, your life will change. Your life will change because you start the process of making a difference. It's just like the first day you go to the gym. Now, I will tell you, if you save 1% of your income, you won't notice it. And if you did that every month for a year, at the end of the year, you would have saved 12%, and you will be saving 4 times what the average American saves, and you will be in a rock star shape. Then the second hour, this is where people's minds blow up, but the second hour, so the first hour goes for the future, the second hour goes for safety and for dreams. So 30 minutes of your income, roughly 5%, should go into an emergency account. And another 5% goes into a dream account. Now, that dream account could be for buying a house, could be saving money for college, could be the vacation you want to take at the end of the year, it could be getting married, could be the engagement ring. But you're putting money away for your dreams, because when you put money away for your dreams, that's how they become real.
And, the book is called The Automatic Millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
This is a book that sold over 2 million copies on its own. Why did you use the word automatic?
Unless your financial plan is automatic, it will fail. How do I know this? Because I spent 9 years as a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, and I got to see firsthand. Everyone who came into my office with an ordinary income, who built wealth, they did it by saving automatically. Every single time a client came into my office and they said, I'm going to bring you a check every month myself, I never had a client save for more than 6 months. They stopped. Once you make the decision to automate your financial life, it works in the background. Now, here's the thing. Everybody else is already doing this to you. You go to a gym to go work out. They don't ask you to bring them money every month. They automatically bill you. You get a phone bill. They automatically bill you. Today, in many cases, when you rent, they automatically pull the money out of your account. The banks automatically take money from you for your mortgage. When you pay taxes, they're all automated. Everyone takes money from you automatically. Everything that you sign up for on your phone is a subscription service. Netflix. Go through your credit card today. Open up your phone. Look at all your subscriptions. All those businesses are taking money from you automatically. Why? That's the only way they can be in business. They know if they don't get money from you automatically, you won't keep using them. Most people who start off with a free subscription, it'll take them 3 to 6 months to turn off something that they don't use. I'm here getting people to automate their financial life for themselves.
Is there simple ways, apps, tools, websites we can use to go through all of our subscriptions and turn them all off?
Yes, there are. So let me tell you the easiest way. This is really actually free publicity for Apple, okay? Because so many people have Apple phones. Number one, only do your subscriptions inside of Apple. In an ideal world, don't pay anybody directly. Do it all through Apple. Mm-hmm. Why? Because if you go to the bottom of your phone and you don't know how to do this and you put subscriptions, up will pop everything that you've signed up for. And you can go click, click, click and turn them all off.
Do that.
Another thing I will tell you is that when you sign up for anything, let's say it's a 1 year, because everything now is a 1 year trial subscription or a 1 month trial subscription. The moment you sign up for it, shut it off. Because what happens is if you sign up for anything, and think of any subscription you can imagine, companies hate me for this. The moment you shut it off, when the time comes for it to renew, they will offer you a better deal to renew.
Okay, so I've opened up my phone. I've gone to the settings. I've clicked on my name in the settings, and then I've clicked on the button subscriptions. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, of which 3 of them I would keep. So all these other ones have just been running in the background. And it's because I used an app one time and it signed me up to some kind of free trial and I just totally forgot to cancel it. So I've got, oh my God, some of them are massive.
Okay, so as you do this, what you're doing right now is a real life example. So if someone's listening to us, watching this, they're married, they've got kids, or they're single by themselves, this one exercise, my guess is there are many, many people listening that could find $50, $100, $200 a month that they could shut off and redirect that money to saving and investing. And that could change their life.
Are there other apps you can use and go to figure out how to cancel all of your subscriptions?
So there are, and most of these apps you have to pay for, right? So like you can go to, so then you're right back into paying for an app. Probably the two most popular apps are Monarch and YNAB. You can also use it with your credit cards. The credit card companies are doing a better job of showing it on your statements. And again, I go back to the Apple example because Apple makes it the easiest to shut these off.
Maybe some of you will be spending $100 a month. So I did $100 a month. And it says if you sort of cancel those subscriptions and invest $100 per month for 40 years, an annual rate of return of about 10%, which is roughly what you get if you just put it into some of the big tech index funds at the moment, the total money you'll have in 40 years is $632,000, which is a staggeringly life-changing amount of money.
It's staggering. And let me just give some very specific investments for people to consider, right? And they still need to do their own due diligence and read prospectuses. And yes, there's risk involved in the stock market. But the first one I would talk about and look at, and these are all listed in my book, because I just want to give you, because people are like, what's an index fund? What do I buy? Look at the Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund. The symbol is VTI. Okay, this is actually the largest index fund in the world. There's trillions of dollars now in this fund. I talk about it in the book. I looked up the annual returns of VTI the last 10 years have been 14%. 14% annually. This fund has 3,500 stocks, all the biggest US stocks. So you don't have to figure out what stock to buy. You buy this fund, you buy an exchange-traded mutual fund, you have access to 3,500 great American companies. I'll give you another stock index fund I love.
And everybody can buy this on their phone right now, probably.
Literally, you can go to Vanguard, Schwab, Fidelity. This is an ETF, so it's available everywhere. It's a stock.
And if you want to figure out how to do this, and you're listening right now, what I'd do is use ChatGPT or Gemini and put in the stock, the fund that has been said, and ask it, how do I invest in this in the country that I'm in? What app do I need to use? What website do I need to use? Again, this is not investment advice. Well, I guess it kind of sounds like it is, but.
Well, no, but it's also like, so like someone says, okay, but I'm in wherever I am. I'm in the UK. What's an index fund in the UK that covers the UK? I'll give you the global version of VTI. So, because I own these funds. So the global version of VTI is a symbol, which is all, I'm gonna give you another Vanguard fund.
When you say you own these funds, for clarity, you mean you've invested in them?
Yeah, I've got money in these mutual funds. So this other fund, because I want money, my personal money that's in the stock market, I am 1/3 global investments and I'm 2/3 US investments. So I have a lot of global index funds. This global index fund, the symbol is VEA. Okay, so this is the Vanguard Global Index Fund without US stock. Symbol again is VEA. That fund last year, and it won't always be like this because global investments have underperformed the US for a long period of time. That fund last year was up 35%. Last year, global investments significantly outperformed the US investments. And the US investment market was up on average of 17%. So the US markets were up 17% or higher, and global investments were up 30% or higher. Now, there will be a point in time, Stephen, without a shadow of a doubt, that we will see a market pullback. And when that day comes, you have to stay the course and keep investing automatically, monthly. And then I'm gonna give you a tech fund, because everybody wants to know, what should I invest in that is, should I invest in an AI tech fund? And my answer would be is you don't need an AI tech fund. You need the best tech fund that's existed in my lifetime, and that's the NASDAQ 100 ETF. And the symbol for that is QQQ. So go and look up, go into whatever you're using and go look up QQQ, read about the top 100 stocks in the NASDAQ and the returns for QQQ. I mean, actually, in the top of my mind right now, I think it's over 20%. But look up what has the QQQ total return been for the last 10 years. I can tell you since I put money in QQQ, it's gone up tenfold. Now, the market's been unbelievable and there will be pullbacks. And that is also why I should say this, Stephen, because we haven't even addressed this. I don't run around telling people to put all their money in the stock market. I also don't think that young people should be putting all their money in the stock market. I think one of the greatest myths out there is that when you're young, you should take a lot of risk. Let me say that one more time because it's super important, so make sure it sits. Everyone says when you're young, you should take risk. The problem with that advice is that today people in their 20s and their 30s are taking a lot of risk. They're not just putting money in index funds. They're putting money in meme coins. They're putting money in meme stocks. They're putting money in NFTs. They're on social media and TikTok watching people day trade. They're trying to get into options. What they're really trying to do is get rich quick. And all I can tell you is the older guy in the room here, people who try to get rich quick stay broke forever. And the problem with taking too much risk with your money when you're young is if you do everything right, like let's just say you shut off all your subscriptions and you're saving $200 a month, but you put that $200 a month into a junk investment and you turn around in 10 years and you have nothing to show for it, you'll stop investing.
Looking at the QQQ data, so this is the NASDAQ 100. So this invests in the top 100 companies in America.
In the NASDAQ Stock Exchange.
The returns over the last 10 years from 2016 to 2026, the annualized returns have been roughly 19%. The total return over that period has been roughly 480%. So a $10,000 investment 10 years ago would now be worth approximately $60,000 today if you've done nothing.
Done nothing.
Never added to it. Over the last 20 years, the annualized returns, the return every year has been 15%, with a total return over that period of 1,500%. And again, so if you've added $10,000 to it 20 years ago and done nothing, you would have roughly $170,000 today.
So here's the beauty of what you just did. You checked you checked my advice. You looked at the data, and now you know what has been done in the past, right? Let me give you a super boring fund. I'm not sponsored by Vanguard. I'm just giving generic vanilla stuff here. Look up the Vanguard Balanced Fund. So Vanguard Balanced Fund. And the Vanguard Balanced Fund is 60% stocks and 40% bonds. That, by the way, is the most typical asset allocation, the difference between stocks and bonds in the world. The average retiree has a portfolio that's about 60% stock and 40% bonds. You look up the Vanguard Balanced Fund, and what you're going to find is that fund has averaged over 8% annually since inception. It is as boring an investment as they come. So if someone says, well, I don't want to be 100% stocks, I want to be more conservative, but I want some stock exposure, the Vanguard Balanced Fund is a great example. I list all these funds in the Automatic Millionaire. One of the kind of funds I talk about the most is what's called a target dated mutual fund. I don't know if do you guys have a 401k plan?
We have something similar.
Okay. So in the US, if you have a 401k plan, what you're going to find when you open up your 401k plan is you have what are called target dated mutual funds. This is a one-stop mutual fund solution to your investing all the way until you retire. And it will be divided among stocks and bonds, and it will be what's called rebalanced automatically as you get closer to retirement. So it'll go from being more stocks when you're young, less stocks as you get older. There are trillions of dollars now in these target dated mutual funds. When I wrote the Automatic Millionaire 20 years ago, it was just getting started. This automatic solution to investing has changed the game of investing for millions of Americans. That's why there's 24 million millionaires, and that's why there's now $45 trillion in retirement accounts.